Hello everyone, welcome for this lecture. Today we are going to discuss the classifications of signals. As we have discussed in the earlier classes, there are these all are the signals classifications. We are going to study one by one. Okay, first one is continuous time and discrete time signals, and second one is deterministic and non-deterministic. And non-deterministic is also called as a random signal. Okay, and next we have even and odd signals, periodic and aperiodic, or this one is also called as non-periodic signal, and energy power signals, real and imaginary signals, analog and digital signals. Okay, let's see one by one among this. First one is, let's observe what is this continuous time signal and discrete time signals. Since we have discussed about it much, so I'll briefly conclude it. Okay, continuous time signal means the signal which gives us a continuous information. Okay, signal where we get a continuous signal, right? So x-axis represents a time and it is noted as a t, and then y-axis represents as a magnitude of that signal. Okay, let's say x of t is the signal we have, it's a magnitude, this is its magnitude, and it is the time varying quantity. Okay, a continuous means the signal will gives us the information continuously. Okay, it might be would have started earlier also. Okay, means at any, means at all the time. Okay, at all the time you are getting signals. Okay, this is called a continuous time signal. And what is discrete? Discrete is signal is the again a same, but with respect x-axis represents with the time, it is noted as n. Okay, and y-axis again with the magnitude. So this is represented by x of n. X signal is varying with respect to time, with respect to n. N is the discrete one, discrete time representation. The meaning of this one is discrete time signal is the signal you get at a discrete time only. Okay, at a 0 you may not have a signal, at 1 you have a signal, 2 you have a signal, 3 you would have a signal, and so on. But between 0 to 1, okay, in between these two you won't get any signals. Okay, between these two signals, these two intervals, you won't get a signals. That is the difference between this continuous and discrete. Okay, so we'll move to the next one now. As we have seen, a continuous and a discrete are with which are getting information continuously, and we are getting information here discrete at discrete time intervals. Okay, or at a particular time only we are getting informations. Second one is deterministic and non-deterministic signals. Okay, name itself indicates that. So deterministic and non-deterministic, we'll discuss about this deterministic. These are the signals are termed deterministic if their behavior is known by the formulas. Okay, means we can get these signals by its formulas. Okay, mathematically if you are able to determine those signals, then those signals can be called as deterministic signals. Okay, for example, sine waves, okay, sawtooth waves, right, and then square waves, okay, triangular waves, right. So these are all your what we can say is deterministic signals. Okay, and what you mean by non-deterministic signals? These are nothing but what we can define it in opposite to that deterministic. Non-deterministic signals for which it is impossible to specify the behavior in terms of functions are called as random signals. Okay, so which are unable to identify by formulas, mathematical analysis, those are called as non-deterministic signals. Those are, you can say, noise signal. Okay, noise signal, variance, means, and those all signals we cannot find out by mathematical formulas, right. So those signals are can be called as non-deterministic signals. Okay, and next we have even and odd signals, which are very important for us for the discussion. Remember one thing, these even and odd signals in all the, not any, in all the signals x of t, x of n, x of t is continuous, x of n is the discrete. Okay, in all the signals these even and odd signals will be present. Okay, that is, in all the signals even part and odd part of the signals will be present. Okay, now we need to define what are those even and what is this odd. Even means, okay, even for even signals, if x of t, or you can take any x of n also, continuous and discrete. Okay, if x of t is a signal, okay, if x of t is the signal, then if you are taking its x of minus t, okay, x of minus t, it again it will be x of t only. Okay, this is called even signal, even part of the entire signal. Okay, this is a for continuous. For discrete also you can say, that is, u x of minus n will be equal to x of n. Okay, if you reverse this with respect to time domain, then also it gives us a same value, okay, of a same function. Then these parts, x of minus t is equal to x of t, x of minus n is equal to x of n, then this part is your even part of the signals. Okay, we'll repeat once. Even signals are, if x of t is the signal, then x of minus t is also equal to x of t, or x of minus n is also equal to x of n, then these signals are called as even signals. Okay, and what you mean by example for this even signals are, you can take a cos theta. Okay, cos theta, right? Cos theta is a signal, okay, or a function. So now if you are taking cos of minus theta, then also it will be cos theta, right? This cos theta is your even signal, you can say, right? Next we will discuss about a odd signal. Now we have got that suppose if x of t is a signal, then x of minus t will be equal to minus x of t. Okay, minus x of t. Then this is for a continuous. Suppose excuse me, if x of minus n, for discrete I am speaking, okay, if x of minus n is equal to n minus of x of n is your odd signals. Okay, for example, sin theta, sin t, or sin omega t, but sin signal. Okay, sin omega t I'll take. Okay, sin omega t, you can, if sin omega t is the signal, suppose sin of minus omega t, okay, that is minus sin of minus theta will be equal to minus sin theta, so it is minus sin omega t. Okay, so this is your odd signal. Okay, remember one thing, in all the signals, okay, in all the signals even and odd part will be present. So let's derive a small derivation on this. Okay, let's take, okay, let's take simultaneously, you note down in your book also. Okay, so let's take x of t is the signal, as we have told you, in all, as we have told you that all the signal will have even part as well as a odd part. Okay, so x of t, if you are considering as a signal, entire signal, it consists of both even signal and odd signal. So it should be x of t will be equal to xc of t plus x naught of t, where xc of t is your where xc of t is your even signal and x naught of t is your odd signal. Okay, and then next what we can do is, right, so where xc of t is the even and x naught is odd signal. Suppose let's change t to minus t. Okay, let's change t to minus t. This, let's call this equation number as 1, first one, this equation as 1. Okay, so let's change t to minus t. Then what happens in this first equation? X of, okay, minus t will be equal to xc of minus t, okay, xc of minus t plus x naught of minus t. Okay, it is x naught of minus t, right? As we know, that I'll write here x of minus t will be equal to, what is xc of minus t? What is the behavior or characteristics of this even part? If you have a xc of minus t, it gives you again xc of t only, positive only you get. Okay, xc of minus t will be equal to xc of t, right? What about this x naught of minus t? It gives minus x naught of t. Okay, minus x naught of t, right? So let's call this equation number as 2. Okay, let's call this equation number as 2. Now you have first equation and second equation. Okay, you have first equation and second equation. Let's add first and second one time, and the next time subtract 1 minus 2. Okay, we'll see what we get. You get it? What you have got is x of t, which is equal to first signal is xc of t plus x naught of t. Okay, second equation is x of minus t, which is equal to xc of t minus x naught of t. Just observe. Let's take this as we have said, it is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Now let's do 1 plus 2. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's do this. What we get is add these two equations, this and this equation. If you add, what you get? X of t, right, plus x of minus t, which is equal to. Okay, so when you are adding these two, these two is going to cancel. Okay, observe, is these two are going to cancel, plus x naught of t minus x naught of t. So these two are going to get cancelled, therefore only these two will be remains, right? That is nothing but 2 xc of t. Okay, therefore what we can do is xc of t, we require even part of that signal. So xc of t can be calculated as xc of t, which is equal to this 2 you send this side, that is 1 by 2 times of x of t plus x of minus t. Okay, right? This is, you have to remember this formula, which is even part. Okay, now we'll hope it is clear. Now we'll get what is the odd part of that same signal. So that we have to do by taking, I'll change this here only. Okay, so just observe 1 minus 2 we have to do. When you are doing 1 minus 2, when you are doing 1 minus 2, this x of t, right, these two, x of t, it will be minus x of t minus x of minus t will be equal to, when you are taking this part side 1 minus 2, observe xc of t plus x naught of t minus xc of t minus into minus plus x naught of t. So these two are going to get cancelled and this will be equal to 2 times of x naught of t, right? Therefore you can write x naught of t, that is odd part of the signal, will be equal to 1 by 2, okay, 1 by 2 times of x of t, okay, minus x naught of t, right? So we can write odd part and even part. Even part is xc of t can be calculated, that is by 1 by 2 x of t plus x of minus t, if right. So this is one. Another one is means x naught of t, which is odd, which is nothing but half x of t minus x of minus t. Okay, these two you have to remember. Okay, next, this is for a continuous. You would have observed we have taken x of t, that is a continuous signal. For a discrete one, for a discrete same, but we are going to represent it as, we are going to represent it as xc of n, only t has to be changed. Xc of can be, we can get it by 1 by 2 x of n plus x of minus n, right? And then what about x naught? Odd part of this discrete signal is 1 by 2, okay, 1 by 2 into x of n minus x of minus n, right? This is about even and odd signals. Okay, now next move to periodic and non-periodic signals. So periodic signal is the signal which repeat it's after certain time. Okay, that is the periodic signal. Okay, and suppose if you are taking this signal, right, this is the signal which is started from this point to this point, and after certain time it is going to repeat it again. Okay, so like this it is going to repeat. So these signals are called as periodic signals. Okay, whereas non-periodic signals means which are not going to repeat after certain time. Okay, those signals are non-periodic signals. It is also example for that, non-periodic signal. Remember one thing, all signals are represented by in a graph. In that x-axis represents time and y-axis represents magnitude. Okay, and next we have energy and power signals. Okay, we have energy and power signals. This is a energy signal. Remember, energy and power, these are going to exhibits energy and consumes power. Okay, these two are the objects, right? These are physically you cannot find it out by the what signals. You can calculate it by those signals. Okay, so energy can be calculated by this formula, that is E is equal to integration of minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, then it is magnitude of that signal square into dt. Okay, this is for a continuous time signal. And then for a discrete time signal, energy can be calculated by summations. Summation of n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, and magnitude of x of n, that is signal square. Okay, this is for discrete time signals. In similar way, for power signals, okay, power signals can be calculated by p is equal to 1 by t integration of t1 to t2 x square of t, okay, dt. This is for continuous time signal. Okay, for discrete it will be p is equal to 1 by n summation of n is equal to 0 to minus 1 n minus 1, then n square of that signal. This is for discrete time signals. Okay, and then we'll discuss about analog and digital signals. Analog signals are, you can say, these are all giving you a continuous signals. Okay, whereas digital is like this signals. You get a digital signals like this. Okay, you get a continuous signals, but it is very sharp one, sharp edges values you will get. Okay, we'll discuss this one in detail, anyhow we need to deal with that. Okay, next we'll study the standard signals. Okay, standard signals. If you would have studied almost all you have studied there, we'll discuss once. Okay, remember one thing, signals are of two types. Means we are going to bifurcate all the standard signals into continuous and discrete signals. One is continuous signal, another one is discrete. So let's discuss what and all you have studied. Okay, so let's see that. Hope you would have observed this unit step signal, heard about this unit step signal and step signal. Okay, and then ramp signal. Okay, and then we have impulse signal, right? Okay, and so on. So these are the signals, standard signals we need to study. Okay, remember one thing, these all signals we are going to express in terms of continuous as well as discrete signals. So let's see one by one how those are going to represent. Okay, so let's see its equations as well as its representations. Remember one thing, so you have to remember and you have to practice all these signals. Okay, so further entire signals and system is based on these things. Okay, so let's start with one by one. So first one is step signal. Okay, it is a step signal. Let's take that how we can represent step signal. Means it is defined as, okay, Well, let's take a step signal. It is defined as m into u of t. M is the magnitude of it. Okay, let's take, see, first you understand the graph of, okay, so you remember this graph always, right? So this is a t, okay, time. If you are moving from this side to this side, if you are moving in this side, it will be positive, okay. If you are moving from this side, it is negative, okay. And this is x-axis, this is x-axis, always will be representing with time, okay. So you can take it as a t plus and t negative. And remember this magnitude, y-axis is magnitude, okay. This is entirely magnitude. So whatever you represent, upper side will be positive and lower side will be negative. This we require much and you're supposed to remember it, okay. So we'll start with this step signal. M is the magnitude and u is the step signal, okay. So this one is m into u of t is defined as, which is equal to, it will be m when t is greater than 0, okay, and its value will be 0 when t is less than 0. I repeat again, step signal is m into u of t, okay. Step signal m into u of t, where m is the magnitude. M into u of t can be defined as, this signal will be present, okay. This signal will be equal to mu of t will be equal to, this signal will be present with the magnitude m when t is greater than 0, okay, and its value will be 0 when t is less than 0. So now let's draw the graph of this. As we said, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. On this x-axis we have a t, y-axis we have a magnitude. So now let's draw this. What they have said, this signal will be present, this signal will be present when t is greater than 0. So observe, t is positive, this is 0, then t, when you are moving from this side to this side, then t is greater than 0, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 are were greater than zeros. And then when you come this side, it is less than 0, okay. So -1 -2 -3 are less than your zeros. So this is the time period, or this is the area where t is less than 0, and this is the area where time is greater than 0, okay. Now what we can do is, we can define, we can draw the diagram. So this signal will be present with the magnitude m when t is greater than 0, means from this side signal will be present m. Say m is a magnitude, I will take a m as a magnitude, and then this one, okay. Whereas it has its 0 value when t is less than 0, means less than 0 it is 0 only, okay. Less than 0 it is 0 only, right? No single value will be present. So this is your step signal, okay. Hope it is clear to you, okay. In that only we are going to study unit step signal. Meaning of this one is, m is equal to 1 now, that is we are going to represent only u of t, okay. Its magnitude will be 1 always, okay. Remember, unit step signal means which a signal has a magnitude of 1 will be your unit step signal. So how we can draw this? So let's define that first. U of t definition means, formula for this one is, u of t will be present with the magnitude 1, okay, when t is greater than 0, and it will be 0 when t is less than 0. Let's draw the graph of this, which is positive and which is negative. This is t greater than 0, and this is t less than 0. At greater than 0, its unit should be, its magnitude should be 1. So here it might be 1, okay. Then this signal will be present all the time after 0, okay. After 0 time, okay. After 0 time, this signal will be present with the magnitude 1. What about t is less than 0? It is 0 only. That's what it lies on that same line, Okay, this signal will be present from 1. Okay, this is your formula and this is your graph. You should remember. Now onwards, if I say draw u of t, you have to write the formula and you have to draw this diagram. Okay, it just starts from 0. Okay, it's up to infinity time. Okay, right, this is your unit step signal. You hope you have got the difference between step and unit step. Step is also same, but it remains the same, but only magnitude differs. If phi u of t is not a unit step, it is a phi. Therefore, at here instead of 1 we have to write is phi magnitude. So this signal is present from 0 to t. Okay, how much time they have mentioned, that much t, 0 to t. So this is your phi u of t. Okay, so this is the difference between step and unit step signal. Okay, next we'll discuss about ramp signal. Okay, a ramp signal. So this whatever I'm speaking about, this one is of continuous time signals. Okay, so ramp signal, hope you would have got this. This is your ramp signal, it continues. Okay, this is again t. X-axis is the t and y-axis is r of t. Okay, let's define this r of t. Okay, let's define formula. We can write it is r of t is present means r of t we can define means it's this signal will be present with the t magnitude when t is greater than or equal to 0, and it is 0 when t is less than 0. Okay, so then with the slope of t. Okay, with the slope, this represents our slope. So now this is your ramp signal. Okay, sorry, t is your, this is a unit slope, sorry, this is a unit slope. Okay, this is the ramp function t and it is r of t. Okay, so and then you have a impulse signal. Okay, which is present at particular values. Okay, usually we'll say this is your impulse which is at 0 now, delta of t. Remember, delta of t will be always 1. Okay, if you integrate this, that is minus infinity to plus infinity delta of t into dt, it gives you 1. Okay, and its value will be present at 0 or any other, only one value will, only one or only single signal will be present of it. Now right now it is at 0. Okay, you may get at a particular time, but only single signal will be present. Okay, that is impulse signal. Okay, and then we have exponential signals. Okay, exponential signals, like we have seen, this is exponential signal, right? Even we have this one also, right, which is exponential. Okay, but what is the difference between these two, right? Signal, this exponential signal, let's say x of t can be defined as c into e raised to at. Okay, the definition of this exponential signal will be x of t is equal to c into e raised to at. Now c is the constant and a is also constant. So then why these two signals are different means how this is also exponential and this is also exponential. If you observe, this signal is decreasing, and if you observe, this signal is increasing. These two signals are dependent on the quantity of A. Okay, on the quantity of A. If you have a calci, hold it and calculate. Okay, try with this. Anyhow, further things we are going to deal with much. These kind of signals are much, but if you are understood now only, if you practice with this signals, it will be very good. I'll be sharing you that if the signal, okay, if that a is less than 0, okay, if a is less than 0, that is a negative value, okay. A is less than 0 means negative, any value less than 0 means what? It is negative value only. Then a will be negative. It says decaying exponential signal, okay. Then it comes decreasing exponential curve you get, okay, when a is less than 0. Suppose if a is greater than 0, then you get exponential signal like this, okay. Yes, you do this. How it comes? Any one value you take a as a -1, and another time a you take as a +2, then draw both the signals and let me know how it looks, okay. Right, we'll continue further from the next class, okay. Thank you.